The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We are excited to cover how to create engaging charts and dynamic lists on SharePoint and Office 365 without coding. My name is Ryan Cruz and I consult with our private and public sector clients to match business objectives and initiatives to solutions that will drive productivity, efficiency, and increase an organization's ROI for existing and future technology investments. Also joining us today is Rahul Madhan, our QuickApps product specialist. Rahul has a vast knowledge on how our global client base is leveraging QuickApps to drive value throughout their organizations. I will personally be walking you through the key features and benefits of QuickApps charts and lists, and Rahul will take us through a live demo. Let's review the agenda. The areas we will be focusing on throughout the webinar are as follows. We'll start with a brief introduction to Agrea. Next, we will move on to talk about the challenges associated with typical SharePoint customizations. Then we dive into QuickApps and the features and benefits that it offers. And finally, the majority of our time will be spent with Rahul taking us through a live demo of QuickApps and how to create complex lists and dynamic charts. Let's jump in to get started. Agrea Solutions is a global Microsoft systems integrator and for the last 17 years has delivered software, solutions, and services to clients in the core areas of social, mobile, analytics, and cloud. We are headquartered in Folsom, California with 21 offices across 8 countries and have worked with Fortune 100 firms to small and large organizations delivering Microsoft-based solutions across industries. Agrea has served clients such as Merck Pharmaceuticals, U.S. Army, Booz Allen Hamilton, Deloitte, United Nations, Cognizant, Ford, Baker McKenzie, Amgen, SuperValue, and many, many more. QuickApps, formerly known as Dell QuickApps for SharePoint, is part of Agrea's award-winning suite of solutions that simplifies SharePoint management, migration, and customization. QuickApps is a set of powerful SharePoint applications and pre-built templates that simplifies SharePoint development and slashes application lifecycle costs. At the core, the spirit of QuickApps is customizing SharePoint without coding. Agrea is a Microsoft Gold partner in collaboration and content, application development, data analytics, and much, much more. We were recognized by CIO Review as one of the top 20 most promising SharePoint solution providers, and our services and solutions continue to earn recognition such as the #1 IT technology company, and Agrea also received the #1 top software developer distinction by Sacramento Business Journal. QuickApps was recognized by DevPro Community Choice Awards as a top solution for SharePoint, and Gartner recognized us as a cool vendor in mobility. Let's jump in and get started with reviewing some of the challenges with SharePoint customizations. So what is the root problem with SharePoint customizations? As users begin to utilize SharePoint more often, they realize the limits of what is possible out of the box. SharePoint is a very powerful platform, but most end users do not know how to create the functionality they are looking for in SharePoint. This leads to the choice of either to live with it or go to IT in order to get the assistance they need. The end user's problem quickly turns into IT's problem. There are times where IT either does not have the skills necessary to accomplish the vision and needs of the end user, or if IT does have the skill sets, they are inundated with requests that further impacts IT's bandwidth to be responsive to the needs of the users throughout the organization. The business needs end up sitting in a pipeline, which increases the frustration throughout all stakeholders. IT's primary objective is to empower end users with the appropriate business solutions to be self-sufficient. Now, let's review the top 3 challenges in customizing an application for an organization. The first challenge we are presented with is regarding site owners and IT team. Building an application requires skilled resources. Many times the resources with the necessary skills are tasked with meeting many other organizational needs. In this scenario, someone is bound to lose. Once you have your custom solution built, you need to manage the full lifecycle costs around supporting a custom application. That includes future enhancement, issues, bugs, and ongoing support. Tribal knowledge. What happens when the developers get placed on a new project or move on to a new role? All of these points have the potential to place a heavier burden on an organization's budgets and puts the organization into financial and operational risk. Let's move on to the second challenge. Slow time to market. The balancing act between what they are working on and what users are requesting is a challenging one. What takes priority? If you need to deliver custom code, it can be very time-consuming, and that makes it difficult for IT professionals and developers to complete projects on schedule and meet business SLAs. As a result, end users get impatient waiting for the request to be completed, and the frustration is passed along to IT. Now, let's jump into the 3 primary challenges with customizations. Upgrading custom-coded applications from one version of SharePoint to the next can be tedious, costly, and time-consuming. It can also result in potential downtime and data loss. The business impact can be tremendous while the frustration across all divisions and departments continues to grow. You may even have to completely scrape and rebuild the application as it cannot be migrated to the upgraded platform. So then what is the alternative? I would like you to meet QuickApps. With the challenges that many businesses face with regards to customizations to meet user needs, QuickApps is the perfect tool to simplify and accelerate the process. You can unleash SharePoint's full potential without placing the burden on IT for every customization and enhancement. QuickApps enables you to build applications that can be easily supported, maintained, and upgraded to ensure their long-term impact and return on investment. Let's now take a closer look at QuickApps to see what it can really do for an enterprise. QuickApps is a SharePoint application building framework comprised of a multi-purpose set of web applications enabling customers to build custom apps without code. These apps are easy to use and configure, thus helping you unleash the full potential of your SharePoint investment. With QuickApps, you can solve the widest variety of requirements and scale across any number of projects. Here are the big 5 requirements that it solves, but keep in mind there are many more. Lists, data, charts, forms, navigation, and external data. Let's take a look at the functionality differences between SharePoint and SharePoint Online, and then we can clearly see where QuickApps fills the gaps and adds value in meeting organizational demands. Our comparison matrix starts with aggregating lists. For SharePoint and SharePoint Online, you have limited functionality in aggregating lists from the same site in SharePoint. QuickApps allows you to seamlessly aggregate lists across different sites, site collections, and web applications. Next is grouping. Only 2 levels of grouping is possible in SharePoint and SharePoint Online, but in QuickApps you have the power to create unlimited groupings for your list. You will see in the UI and theme design that there are approximately 18 themes available for SharePoint. But with QuickApps, you receive more than 30 pre-packaged themes to match your organization's branding. Parent-child relation between two lists is not possible in SharePoint out of the box. But with a few simple clicks, you are able to deliver this capability by leveraging QuickApps. Exporting data in multiple formats has never been easier. You can get multiple options in QuickApps to export your data. That includes CSV files, PDF, Excel, and many, many more. Next is filter and replace. The filtering of data is limited in SharePoint and SharePoint Online, but with QuickApps you receive the ability to not only filter, but replace as well. There are more than 30 2D and 3D charts available with QuickApps, whereas SharePoint, there's no option available. And lastly, system integration. There's limited functionality for integrating SharePoint with external systems, but through the QuickApps system integration application, you're able to integrate seamlessly to meet your organizational needs. Let's now take a closer look at some of the benefits of QuickApps. You are able to build solutions up to 80% faster, leverage our easy edit configuration to administer and manage multiple sites, empower business users, improve on ROI for SharePoint, reduce burn on IT and skilled resources, and lastly, it is also future-proof and easy to manage and upgrade to new versions of SharePoint. Now, to explain this better, let's take a real-world scenario to highlight some of the points we have reviewed so far. Meet Mr. Ray. Mr. Ray is a manager who has SharePoint installed in his organization, and like any other divisional manager, he has to report on his team's progress, which drives the need to combine information from multiple lists with multiple levels of grouping. He would also like to create visual charts to highlight some of the key takeaways from his team's performance. Historically, Mr. Ray has been very frustrated with his inability to get what he needs out of SharePoint. Let me now turn it over to Rahul to take you through a demonstration of QuickApps and see if we have the solution that Mr. Ray is looking for. Rahul, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rahul Madan, and today I'll be taking you through a demonstration of QuickApps. As Ryan mentioned, QuickApps comes with a set of 21 web parts, makes the customization process on SharePoint faster, easier, and without coding. For today, I'll be showcasing some key web parts of QuickApps that will give you a glimpse of the power that QuickApps provides you. So to start with, I'll be talking about List View, a quick way to show how you can combine lists from multiple sites and location. This will be followed by Chart View that enables you to create compelling 3D charts and dashboards from multiple lists. So let's get started. So to make things more relevant to our business, let me just repaint the scenario which Ryan has mentioned over here. So where Mr. Ray has assigned a task to his SharePoint developer, built a web part which can collaborate multiple lists from different sites in SharePoint, apply a multi-level of grouping on the fields. The UI of the web part should be according to organization's theme and color. And lastly, the collaborated data needs to be exported in multiple formats like PDF or Excel. So he needs to add that functionality as well. Now, as you would know, all these features and custom work does not come out of the box in SharePoint and would require a good level of custom coding. Now, to develop this kind of solution, a SharePoint developer will take a minimum of 3 to 4 days in development, testing, and finally going live. In this process, he will create logic for aggregating the list, grouping, filtering, and finally designing the UI. Now let's see how Agrea QuickApps can help you in building the same kind of solution in just under 10 minutes. So let's get started. I'm into the QuickApps demo environment where I have already added a QList web part. Now let us see how this can be done. So I'll begin with list collaboration. I'll click on QList view web part and there is a button of Easy Edit. Now Easy Edit is just a point and click tool to configure a QuickApp web part. It enables the user to control all the operation the way he wants. As you can see, the Easy Edit is divided into 4 different sections: the Content tab, Behavior tab, Appearance tab, and Advanced tab. We'll start with the Content tab first. The Content section allows you to configure and add different lists from SharePoint library, configure display fields, and even control the parent-child relation between the two lists. I will now show you how you can easily pull up the list from different sites. So we'll start with giving a title to our web part. Let's say we call it a product sales list. Now we will add two different lists which reside in SharePoint library. I'm going to click on Edit button in the viewed list. So we will pull up the first list, which is Team Sales A, from a different site. So select a list from another site. And here I'm going to give my URL for different site URL, and I'm going to click on Get List. So you can see a couple of lists over here, and there we have a Sales Team A, and selecting that list. And the other list I'll be selecting from current site only. So add a list. Now this is my current site. You just click on Get List, and I'm going to select Sales Team B. Both lists of the sales team have been added, as you can see, and I'm going to click Save button. Now additionally, for each of the salesperson, we also want to see the details of the customer associated with that. Now for doing this, we will create a third list, which will be the child list for it. I'm going to attach a child list with Sales Team A. So I'll go on the Easy Edit button. For Sales Team A, I'll click on Edit button, and you can see a couple of options here, and you have an Add Child List. I'll click on that. Just pulling up the customer detail list for creating the child list. So you fetch the list, and you have a customer details. Hit OK button to select that. Now to build a parent-child relation between the list, you have to map the parent key field name with the child field key name. And to do that, here you have the parent key field name. Let's select the customer ID. We can map it with the customer ID. There you go. And I'll click on OK button to save this particular configuration. And save it. Now, the next step is to configure and arrange the display field for the list which you have already selected. So here in the viewed list, you can see both the list added and the child list, which is the customer details. For the display fields, I'm going to click Edit button. Now you can check the fields you want to display onto the part. Well, for this demonstration, I'm going to select customer ID, product name, zone, year, sales, and sales executive. And I'm going to save that. Now once you select the display fields, all the display fields will be reflected here. So display fields are done now. Let's do the grouping part. Now for doing the grouping, we'll have to select a field. This can be zone, year, or industry-wise. For our scenario, I'm just going to select zone for the first level of grouping. Again, I'm coming back to the field, and you have an option, field name, zone, and there you can find the grouping option. So I'm going to check that, and you have one more option, expand the group. Click OK to save the configuration. Now by doing this, we have sorted our final list by different zones. Now let's assume that we want to have a second level of grouping based on year. So you have a year field name, you click Edit button. In a similar fashion, you can check the grouping part and expand grouping part as well. Hit OK button to save the configuration. There you go. Now I'm going to show you something which is incredible. As you know, the SharePoint only allows up to 2 levels of grouping, and anything over and above that requires a custom development. But with QuickApps, you can do n number of grouping, and that too without coding. Now let's just try and add level 3 grouping. Now for level 3, let me select, let's say, sales executive. There you go. So similar fashion, same configuration. You just click grouping, expand grouping, and hit OK button. And finally, saving the configuration for grouping. Now the last part is you also have an option to control the third list, which is the child list display fields. Now to configure that, you click on Edit button. As you can see, there are more than 22 options to choose from for child list display. And for this, I'm going to select customer ID, company name, address, and phone number. Saving the configuration for our child list display. And finally, saving the complete configuration to produce my list onto my web part. So your list is ready to display now, and here you go. So here you can see your list. So the first level of grouping based on zone, the north zone and the south zone. I'm just going to collapse that. There you can see the different second level of grouping based on year 2016 and 17. And the third level of grouping is based on sales executive. And the list which has to be produced over here with the product name, customer ID, and sales can be seen over here. Now, if one has to check the customer details, he just need to click drop down menu for particular list. There you can see the second level of grouping. Then you can see the customer. Let's say I want to see the customer details for this particular product. Let's say for sales executive router, and you just need to click on this drop down menu, and there you have company name, address, and phone number of this particular customer. So this is how a parent-child relation can be represented in the list. Now let's see, as we have combined multiple lists here, the data size too will increase immensely. Therefore, we would like now to see filters to fetch specific data if needed. Let me now show you how to add filters to this list. You click on product sales list, you click on easy edit button again. Now in the content tab, you have a search, filter, and replace panel. Now to do that, I'm going to click on searched field, and I'm going to pick particular fields to put the filter on. And for our scenario, I'm going to pick just let's say zone, product name, and customer ID. I'm going to click OK button to save the configuration. And let's say OK. There you go. Now in the action tab, you can see a new button which is filter, and I'm going to click that. So you have all three filter options available now. Let's try to use that filter for customer ID. So let's try to use customer ID 107 and hit go button. Now it has already filtered the data for customer ID 107. The sales executive is Craig Fisher. And if one has to see the customer details, you just need to click on this arrow, and there you go with the customer details. This is how filters work. Now let's just talk about the next level of operation which we can perform on our list, like designing the UI, some action and custom tabs. You can add on your list toolbar, and exporting the list in multiple formats like CSV, PDF, and XLS. I'm just going to close this, and again I'm going to click and go back to easy edit, point and click configuration tool. So talking about a second section, which is a behavior tab. So you have an action button over here. Now one can create their own action buttons like move, copy, go to URL function, trigger their existing workflows in SharePoint, and can also set up email notifications. Now the next tab is the appearance tab. Now this takes care of all the UI of the web part, starting from themes, skin types, web part layout, managing the width and height of the web part. So let's quickly try to change the color and theme of the list first. So I'll go back to grid part. As you can see, there are skin type options. So there are more than 20 predefined themes to choose from. Let's say for grid, I'm going to select sunset. And jumping onto the toolbar, let's say for the toolbar skin type, I'm going to select, let's say, web blue. Again, a couple of options available over here, which you can put it onto your toolbar. So let's select one of them or two of them. And for this, let's select show export button on my toolbar and also show print button on my toolbar. There you go. And the last section is the advanced section. Now, advanced section is basically which take care of all the security features like target audience for the web part. So you can add or remove or group of SharePoint users whom you would like to keep off the web part. And finally, saving the configuration. Now let's see our list now. There you go. So you can see the list with fresh and new color and theme. Once you select any particular field, the color will change according to the theme which you have selected. And let's collapse that. There you go. And when I'm going to click on action button, again we can see a couple of more options and buttons available here. So you can see the new options like print and export. Let's try to export this list. You have again options to export the list into multiple formats. You have a PDF, you have Excel, you have Word, you have a CSV file. Let's select XLS and hit the go button. There your product sales list has been downloaded, and I'm just going to open this XLS file. There you go. So this is the beauty of QuickApps. The way you have designed your web part, the list, it has just replicated that into your XLS file. Now you can share this collaborated list with anyone. And this is how quickly and easily you can design and collaborate different lists of SharePoint using just QuickApps. So talking about some features, we have done unlimited grouping, whereas native SharePoint only allows and supports 2 levels of grouping. List with parent-child relationship can be represented into 2 levels of hierarchical list view. You can see that right away from here. User can create complex filters and sort of the view. You have seen the filters, and custom action integrates enables you to define additional buttons on your toolbar. So that was all for the list view. Let's move on to the next web part, which is QChart View. Now, continuing with the same scenario, let's say if the same developer now wants to create a charts and dashboard with same data and list, but the different variations like total revenue by sales executive. And now let's see how quickly we can build the charts from the same exact list. Now to do so, I'm going to click on QChart View web part, and there you have an easy edit button. Here you can see easy edit configuration remains same for all the web parts, hence making the learning curve short for the user. Now here you can give a title for a chart, let's say sales revenue. And you have a viewed list option. Now again, I'm going to select the same exact list, which is the sales team A. Now to do so, let's click on edit button. Select list from another site. Giving up the URL and fetching up the list. And you have a sales team A. Check that and click OK button and save it. Now the next step is to select the chart type. As you can see, there are more than 30 options of charts and dashboard to choose from. And for this example, I'm going to select column 3D chart. There you go. And the last part is the configuration, that how you want to produce your data onto the charts. So let's do that. Click Edit button. And here you select the fields to group your data, the field name. As we are working on the sales revenue for different sales executive, I'm going to select sales executive. You want to sort your data by different sales executives, so you select sales executive again. Sort your order in ascending and descending. There you select ascending. And finally designing the data series. So data series is what you will be representing the data onto your charts. You can have multi-series data like for different years, different region, different sales executive, etc. So according to business need, one can design n number of data series. Now for this, as I'm working on revenue, I'm going to select sales. Couple of options and functions available here. You have a sum option, you have a average option, you have a count and minimum max option as well. For this, I'm going to select sum. I'm going to give the name sales revenue. And hitting OK button. And the behavior tab remains same for all the other 21 web paths. Let's check the appearance tab. Now, appearance tab, here you can control how you want to present your data. So you have a chart, width and height adjustment over here. So next level of customization, so when we talk about next level of customization, we have a chart attributes, where one can control and configure the title and the access name, border and background color, the chart canvas, putting up external organization logo onto their dashboard and charts, configuring the 3D chart attributes, the legends, the data values, everything is just a point and click configuration. And there you save it. And the advanced tab again remains same for security reasons, where you can control your SharePoint or group of SharePoint users. And I'm going to select OK button to save the configuration. And there you go. Here we are with our chart. All the data, the total revenue by each of the salesperson represented in 3D bar chart in just under 5 minutes. There on the left side you can see that sales revenue and the name of the sales executive. Now, talking about some features, we have covered supporting over 30 different types of 2D and 3D charts. Just point and click code-free configuration, and QChart can be linked to a QList view so that it shows the same data that you have already seen in the list view. One can use the dynamic filtering, drill down reports for rich user interface, for dashboards. You can add multiple charts in the same page as well, as per the organization need. So that was all from the product demonstration. Back to you, Ryan.
Thank you, Rahul, for the live demo. I certainly appreciate you taking us through that. Now let's all jump in and take a look at QuickApps benefits from different personas. So really the question here is, who benefits throughout an organization from QuickApps? The answer from my perspective is very simple: everyone. The IT pro is able to meet business demands, accelerate delivery, improve their ROI over their SharePoint technology deployment. An IT manager is able to slash development costs, easily support, maintain, and upgrade their SharePoint environment, moving those apps along with their SharePoint upgrades, drive SharePoint to its full potential. Site owners are empowered. They're able to deliver on divisional or departmental needs or solutions, making sure they're meeting their own internal division SLAs, getting the information when they need it, freedom to customize to meet their needs, and truly increase their productivity. Consultants are able to better utilize their experienced coders and put them on different projects, deliver client projects sooner with better results, grow their services practice as now they're able to take on more clients. So as you can see here with QuickApps, everyone wins. Now let's review how you can get more information on QuickApps. So for more details around QuickApps, you can visit our website. You can have the URL here, www.quickapps.agrea.com, or you can even request a free trial. If you already like what you see and would like to get started, you can drop us a note on QuickApps_sales@agrea.com, and our sales team will help you with next steps. With this, we come to the end of our presentation. We hope you enjoyed watching QuickApps and our review on lists and charts and seeing it in action. And now we're ready to take any questions that you might have for us. So feel free to jump on and send some questions our way. We'll give you guys here about 30 seconds while we have some of the initial questions pop in. So it looks like we're getting our first question in from Chris. So the question here is there an online version available for the application shown today? And do they have the same set of features? So I'll take this one. Thanks for your question, Chris. And yes, absolutely. We do have the applications available both for SharePoint on-premise as well as SharePoint Online in the cloud within Microsoft's Office 365 environment. So everything is available with all the standard features, and we look forward to supporting you on either your on-premise or your online solution. We have a few more questions that have come in at once, so we'll take the next one from Josh here. His question is, how is it different than the new SharePoint framework released by Microsoft? So that's actually a great question. I'll let Rahul take this one.
Well, sure. So you see, Josh, SharePoint framework is developer friendly. When we talk about QuickApps, it's just an end user centric and focuses just on a code-free development of application. Actually, it's just intuitive and user-friendly when we compare it to SharePoint framework.
Got it. Well, I appreciate that. So another question came in right after Josh is here from an Amy. So thanks for sending this in, Amy. Amy wants to know, do these applications support SharePoint 2016 as well? Being technical in nature, I'll let Rahul take that as well.
Well, great question, Amy. Absolutely, absolutely. It does support 2016. So QuickApps support 2010, 13, 16, and all in SharePoint. So we have a separate installer for all the different versions of SharePoint.
Got it. Thanks, Rahul. We're getting a number of questions in at the same time, but we'll take the next one from Alex, and we'll take as many as we can with the time allotted here until we're wrapped up with the webinar. So next one is from Alex. How are these applications priced? So Alex, pricing is very much dependent on a lot of different factors. You know, a lot of it is the environment you have. Are you with a SharePoint on-premise solution, SharePoint Online? Which applications are you looking at leveraging for your organizational's use? And how many users are going to be accessing the application? So again, you know, there's some more nuanced questions around production or non-production environments. So really, my long-winded answer is that we need to jump on and get to know a little bit more about what you're trying to accomplish and learn more about your organization. And at that time, we'll be able to tailor the right solution for you and make sure you get all the information you need. So again, feel free to drop us a note and our team will reach out to you to discuss that a little bit further and learn more about your specific use case. Next question here is from Kevin. So can we buy these applications individually or do they come bundled? So a good question here, Kevin. So no, currently cannot be purchased as an individual web part, and really the reason behind that is that we've grouped these web applications to drive the true productivity and efficiency you're looking for. So a lot of these applications work together, unlock and unleash a lot of the feature sets that we've discussed today. So they're in bundles, and we will be reviewing the ability to have more purchase options coming up soon. So again, if you have more questions about the bundles, the features and functionality that are released with those bundles, be more than happy to jump on a call with you and walk you through that. So on to the next question here, it's from a Ravi. So can QuickApps be used on Power Apps on Office 365? So Rahul, do you want to answer that one?
Sure. So you see, Ravi, QuickApps is basically built for SharePoint and SharePoint Online. So unfortunately, currently we are not supporting on Power Apps.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the question, Ravi. We're running out of time here, so probably a couple more questions we can get to here. So the next one's from a Robin. So does QList View support initiating a workflow? So that's actually a very good question, Robin. Rahul, do you want to take that?
Yeah, sure, Ryan. So absolutely, again, when you talk about custom action, as we have seen in the demo, you can create your own custom action buttons on the toolbar. You can trigger your existing workflows from SharePoint, which includes Nintics and K2 as well.
Got it. Thanks, Rahul, for that. And it looks like we have time here for one more question. We'll take Neil's here. Do you also provide support services for QuickApps, and do I need to pay separately for them? So thanks for actually bringing that up, Neil. So yes, we do have support services for QuickApps. We have a managed services practice. They're supporting QuickApps in our entire global client base. And for your purchase, it comes free for that support maintenance for that first initial year. So regardless if you move forward with the on-premise or online solution, that first year within that licensing cost is included for support and maintenance. So post that, you will have to renew the support and maintenance, and you'll get access to, you know, our resolutions, bug fixes, support, upgrades in the future. If you need to ask our team any questions on impending migrations or any information you need around QuickApps, we're here to really partner with you and support your organization to meet your needs. So again, we're here to support you, and absolutely within that first year, support maintenance is included, no extra cost for that. So in the spirit of time here, thank you very much everybody for joining today. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to request a demo at www.quickapps.agrea.com. You can reach us on our 800 number. Please follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter. We're always releasing you know, upcoming technology articles, blogs, anything out there, anything you want to learn more about from who we are, what we do. Please do follow us there. And also, I do want to mention here that we are giving away an Amazon gift card for a selected winner from the registered attendees. So please look out for that. We'll be announcing the winner on LinkedIn and reaching out to that individual personally to make sure they get the gift card and congratulate them on their win. So anyway, thank you very much everybody for joining us today, and we look forward to having you join us here in the future. And please do not hesitate to reach out if there's anything else that we can do for you, answer questions, and support you in any way, shape, or form. So thank you everyone. That wraps up the webinar, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ryan.